So you're looking to go for Sadhanapada, but you're worried that once you go that you might come back and not have a job. Or you're worried about how your company is going to do for 7 months without you. If you're having those doubts, then today I'm going to tell you my story about how I left my job and went for Sadhanapada completely just like that. Just dropped it and left. What's going on, everyone? My name is Monison. I haven't really posted on this channel in a long time, but I decided to come back, and as I saw a lot of questions on Reddit and Quora especially, where a lot of people seem to want to go for Sadhanapada, but they're having certain doubts and certain questions. And of course, one of the biggest ones that I'm sure everyone has is that how am I going to leave my job and my financial security for 7 months? So leaving your job is not a small thing, right? Leaving for 7 months especially is definitely not a small thing. There are people who struggle to take 4 days off of work to go for inner engineering. From 4 days to 7 months is a huge jump, right? And most of the times you won't be able to explain it to your job or company. And for most people, they're probably leaving their jobs. Some people, depending on where you work and how high up the ladder you work, possibly, you might be able to find your way through that. You can keep your job on pause, you can keep it on hold, and come back to it safely. But for most people, that's not the situation. For me, I can tell you, it was that before I left my job, before I left whatever I was doing, I knew that I wanted to go for Sadhanapada regardless of what, because I was running into a lot of difficulties with my job and outside life, because I kept running into blocks, whether that be a creative block at work or whether that be struggling to manage with other people, struggling to work with them, understand them. No matter what I did, there's something that I could just not get past. I realized whatever I was doing, whatever I was not enough. I was, simply put, I'm just not good enough for whatever I was doing, and I need to improve. As simple as that, I just need to improve. Not improve in any specialized way. So I was making videos before. I could have invested time and money into working on a specialized skill, but then the other areas of my life wouldn't be affected, right? Because if I was just working on if I was working on editing and I honed in on that, and I honed in on how to make my videos more creative and better in that way, all the other areas of my life wouldn't be seeing an improvement from me working on a certain skill, like my relationships, my physical health, my mental health. It probably wouldn't be going up in any way or improving in any way. Just wouldn't work. It would only be that one skill that gets improved on. I decided that Sadhanapada, it was a way that I could enhance myself, my body, my mind, and with that, every area of my life could see a ripple effect. Every area of my life could see some kind of improvements. And that's why I wanted to go for Sadhanapada. So that's why, essentially, it didn't matter to me, because I knew that I'm struggling here. If I just leave this, when I come back, when I go for Sadhanapada and come back, whatever I could do before, I'll be able to do much better when I come back, was my mindset, right? So I was in such a situation where I was 21, either 20 or 21. I believe it was 21, losing track of time. But I was young, right? And I'm living with my parents. I still am. I was living with my parents, and I was a YouTube content creator, kind of like what I'm doing now. But I was getting paid, and I was getting paid good money. The kind of money that if I went to India, I would be rich, and the kind of money that any 20 or 21-year-old would want to have in Canada and America, So that kind of money. And I was also making gaming videos. If you see my other video on Sadhanapada that I made a while back, you'd know this story by now. But for those of you who are new, I was making videos on Pokemon specifically, which is something I've enjoyed and known since I was a kid. I grew up with, and I was making videos on that. And it took me from 2016 to 2019 to build that channel up. Yeah. And I was making good money with that channel. And I wasn't in school. I left school because I wasn't enjoying it. I left school and I was just doing this, and this is considered a dream job for most people, right? There are so many people my age and older and younger, who are desperately trying to start a channel on YouTube or Twitch, and they want to make gaming videos, and they want to be known like this, but I had that, and it just wasn't enough. And everyone thought I was crazy for leaving. Like my parents, I already left school, and then I left this, and they like no one in my family could understand why I was doing this. And then my friends, most of them were actually supportive of my leaving of school. But when I told them I'm going to leave YouTube and go for this program, they couldn't believe it. Like they did not understand whatsoever. And I knew they wouldn't understand, right? It's not something that's many people would. Like, most people are stuck in that survival mode, they're working to live and they can't think about anything beyond that. To tell them that you're going to go work on yourself so you can come back as a better person, more competent person, more capable in every way, shape, and form, and then come back to work because it's necessary. It's not something they can fathom. It's simply, they can't wrap their head around it, but I decided to go for it anyways. And I went through Sadhanapada, and it was fantastic. Still to this day, the best decision I've ever made in my life, right? And then when I came back home, I didn't particularly know what to do. Initially, I decided that I wouldn't go back to my old YouTube channel because I considered it done and gone, right? And like it's in the past is what I was thinking. And anyone that's done YouTube, like seriously, who's made money off of it and everything, anyone who's done YouTube seriously will tell you that when you leave YouTube, when you stop being consistent, when you stop making videos, when you come back to it after all of that, it is way too difficult to make a return. Like, you have to really, really step it up a notch to make a proper return and make the same level of income you were making before. It's very strict on people who take a break, right? It doesn't allow for that because the way the algorithm works and everything, it requires you to constantly feed your channel with videos and attention, and that's what YouTube is looking for. So when I took a year's break and I came back, after some time I decided, let's just try making videos again. Let's just try. And I tried it, and it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out too well at all. I got someone else to edit my videos. I tried to pump out a little bit of content, but it wasn't getting the same level of reception. So I decided, okay, let's not try. And then I'm still living under my parents' roof and everything. So I was fortunate with that. I just simply waited. I felt as if, when the time is right, I'll know when to come back to YouTube. Because me personally, I could go out and get a job, but I'm not saying that you have to be like this, but as you know, I left school. I also refused to work a 9-to-5 for my own personal reasons, but I just didn't want to go to something where I had someone else dictate the time and hours of how I work. I wanted to be in charge of that. And since YouTube was something I did before and I didn't know what to particularly go back to, I said, okay, we'll go back to YouTube, but we'll wait. We'll simply wait till the right time, till it's optimal, where I can get out a ton of content at once and really, really, really focus on it and put some time into it. Till then, we'll just wait. So I just simply, I was volunteering for Isha overseas, from remote volunteering. I was doing some, I volunteered for the inner engineering online program, and I was doing things like this, and I just simply waited. When the right time struck, I was like this with the content. The most amount of content I've ever made, the most engaging content I've ever made, and the most viewed content I've ever made. The best month I've had since coming back was 10 times the amount of the best month I had before Sadhanapada. Right? I don't want to get the exact numbers, but I had 10 times. Overall, my channel is doing 10 times better, actually. My channel is doing fantastic. Absolutely wonderful for what it was. Even my co-workers, the co-content creators I collab with and work with, they all came back and said, I've never seen you be so productive. I've never seen you work this much. I've never seen you, get this much results this quickly. I got 10,000 subs in just 1 month. If that means anything. I don't particularly look at numbers per se when I make content. I was just simply making content just because I wanted to and just because I could, and it was producing results. I'm throwing numbers out here. I had to look at the numbers before making this video, just so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. Again, the content creators I worked with are saying this, like, we've never seen you like this before. We've never seen you work this much, this hard, be this productive, get these kind of results are you not tired out? Are you not stressed out? Are you not exhausting yourself? And I said, no. I'm not. This is my normal pace now. I'm not exhausting myself. I'm not losing any sleep. I am sleeping less, but that's because all the sadhana and all the practices, you know. And I told them I'm sleeping 4 hours a day, but don't worry about me. And they're like, 4 hours a day? 4 hours? Well, what are you doing? I'm like, no, don't worry, I'm okay. But but what I'm trying to say here is my overall output, whatever I could do before in work, I am doing 10 times better. Statistically, this isn't even a number I'm making up out of nowhere. Statistically, I can prove it to you. I am doing 10 times better than I was before. Easily. I can show you on screen the number of subscribers I gained in November alone. This is drastically different from what I've had before. So if you're worried about, you know, going for Sadhanapada and wondering how you're going to be without a job, those 7 months will fly by, okay? Those 7 months, it has never been such... Life has never moved so quick, ever. Like, those 7 months are such a, it's like a moment, you know? It'll go by so quickly, and you won't even be worried about, okay, what am I going to do when I get back home? What am I going to do without a job? None of that will be there. And you'll find that when you do come back, you know, outside of the ashram, outside of Sadhanapada, when you do come back and you step out into the outside world, you'll be much better off in the world than you were before. And opportunities will come your way, right? I'm not saying that YouTube was my only option. That wasn't the case. I was just stubborn with the work I chose. But if I did go for a 9 to 5, I promise you I can handle that better. Just because I wouldn't be moping around and be like, oh, I'm at a 9 to 5. I wouldn't. No, I know how to work joyfully now. I know how to work with, deal with other people or talk to them, and you know, I could deal with customers now, whereas before I'm sure I couldn't. I know I couldn't actually. Now currently, if I wanted to go for Sadhanapada, I couldn't, because I'm actually the one paying for rent now for my family. I'm paying for the rents. And because I have that commitment, I'll have to make sure I have that commitment settled and sorted out before I go out. Now, if I did earn enough money and I could give my parents the rent for the 7 months, I will 100% go. 100%. I would go without any hesitation. And I might do something of the sort sometime soon. Who knows? But if the opportunity is there and you can go for it, I would say you take that opportunity. When you come back and you look back at yourself, you'll look back and you can't believe that's who you were 7 months ago. That's how it's gonna be. So if you can leave your job for 7 months, not only will you be doing yourself a favor, but you'll be doing them a favor as well. Because I guarantee you, when you come back, they'll be happy that you took the program as well. Guarantee it.